It's round two for voters in Port Arthur. Not all city council races were decided in November. KFDM's Angel San Juan joins us in the studio with why enthusiasm at the polls this go around might not be as great. Angel?
Today was day one of early voting for runoff elections in Port Arthur to fill 2 council seats left undecided in November. But runoffs are like movie sequels. There's usually not as much interest as the original. A return engagement to the polls is especially challenging in the age of COVID. On the first day of early voting, there was more rain in Port Arthur than voters, the weather dampening the enthusiasm we witnessed during the last election cycle when the city experienced record turnout at the polls.
It was beautiful. People waited in lines for hours to vote. That's mind-blowing. And I hope people come out, regardless of the weather, and come out and exercise the right for your local candidate that's running for city council.
Anthony Cooper is one of only 52 voters who braved the elements Wednesday to cast their ballots in Port Arthur's runoff elections to decide 2 council races left unresolved in November.
When you started something, my grandmother always told me, you start something, finish it.
And Cooper hopes there's a record turnout for the runoffs, just like there was for the general election when more than 8,000 voters cast ballots. That's nearly 30% of the city's registered voters.
It's very important that we do come out and vote at every cause, because our forefathers fought so right and still fighting for the rights to vote in certain areas of the United States. So despite all the difficulties that went on with the presidential election, hey, your vote does really matter.
Election officials say they can control Mother Nature from keeping people away from the polls, but they can make sure that fear of COVID does not drive down turnout. Now, we were not allowed to videotape what's going on in the voting area, but I got to see for myself that there are many safety precautions, including hand sanitizer, masks are available, and check these out. Nifty finger gloves so that you don't have to have direct skin contact with the voting machine.
It's very safe. They've taken all the precautions that's required by the CDC and beyond the CDC requirements to make people safe. So that's no reason not to come out and vote.
Early voting runs through December 15th. There are 2 early voting locations, the Port Arthur Public Library on 9th Avenue and City Hall on 4th Street in downtown. The runoff election is on Saturday, December 19th. Rocio?